title for today's lecture is Abraham's Life of Separation. So before we begin, can we pray? Let us pray. Our Father in heaven, we thank you for this blessed morning you have given us. We thank you for all of us here. And we pray that may each and every one of us come closer to you this morning by studying your word. Help us to know your will for us. And may your providence and sovereignty be revealed to us through this study. And in every situation of our lives, help us to see you, help us to hear you, help us be closer to you, and to be able to walk with you like Enoch did. And may the blessing of transfiguration be upon each and every one of us here. Open up the gates of heaven, pour upon all the people here your grace and your love, and help us to be united as one family in your precious word of God. We thank you, Father God. Please speak through me. Please help me to bring your word to the people here. In Jesus' name we pray. Amen. Okay, so as we look at this title, it's quite sad, right? I'm going to bring you a very sad story beginning of life of separation. So whenever we see or hear the word separate, it's like, oh, we're going to be separated from our family, from our loved one. But in today's lesson, we're going to learn how Abraham, through his life of separation, was able to come closer to God. So may this blessing be upon each and every one of us today. Okay, and the contents of this lecture is taken from the first book in the History of Redemption series. And the title of the book is The Genesis, Genealogies, God's Administration in the History of Redemption. So through each and every character that we study, through each and every person's life, may we be able to see God's administration within them. And we believe that because we come to believe in God, because we are here receiving the Word of God, God's administration in the history of redemption is in each and every one of us today. Okay, the author of this History of Redemption series is our Reverend Abraham Park. And we know through his study and prayer, he came out with a series of books which help us to come closer to the Bible. And today, we're going to find out who is Abraham. I'm sure all of us know who he is, right? So, and yesterday, our lecturers, Dr. Lauren and Dr. Elaine, shared about the first generation to the 20th generation and how God's administration was shown through each and every of their lives. So today, we're going to look at Abraham, who is the 20th generation. Okay, the meaning of the name. Before he was called Abraham, his name is Abram. Abram means exalted father or honorable father. And at the age of 99 years old, he received the name Abraham. From who? From our Father God. And this name Abraham has almost the similar meaning as Abram, but there's something special added to it. Abraham means father of multitudes, father of nations. And within this name, it has the crucial role that Abraham will play in the history of redemption. And I believe in each and every of our names, in each and every of our lives, God's history of redemption is going to be fulfilled. So let's look at Genesis chapter 17, verse 5. Shall we read together? Okay. It's in your notes. If not, we can look at the screen. Alright, let's read together. No longer shall your name be called Abram, but your name shall be Abraham. For I made you the father of a multitude of nations. Yes, what a wonderful name. And we know Abraham is our forefather of faith. And indeed, he not only is the forefather of faith for us Christians today, he is also the forefather of faith for the Jews as well as the Muslims. So within his name, the father of multitudes, the father of nations, God's administration is revealed. So, the history of redemption that began with Seth continued through Noah, the 10th generation, and now it has reached Abraham, the 20th generation. So before we talk about Abraham's life of separation, let us look at the work of separation in the Bible. Throughout the Bible, throughout God's history of redemption, the work of separation is seen. In the first chapter, in the first book of the Bible, and which book is that? Genesis. Thank you. Right, we see the creation story. Right, let us read Genesis chapter 1, verses 1 to 4 together. In the beginning, God created the heavens and earth. The earth was formless and void, and darkness was over the surface of the deep. And the Spirit of God was moving over the surface of the waters. Then God said, "Let there be light," and there was light. God saw that the light was good, and God separated the light from the darkness. So God said, "Let there be light," and there was light. And what did God do? God separated the light from the darkness. And that was the first day. So what happened on the second day? Let us read Genesis chapter 1, verses 6 to 7 together. Then God said, "Let there be expanse in the midst of the waters, and let it separate the waters from the waters." God made an expanse and separated the water which was below the expanse from the water which was above the expanse, and it was so. Yes, so let there be an expanse, and God separated the waters below the expanse and the waters which is above. So that is the work of separation again. And if you continue to look at the 6 days of creation, first day, God separated the light from the darkness. Second day, God separated the water below and the waters above. Third day, God separated land from the seas. And on the fourth day, God made the greater light to govern the day and the lesser light to govern the night. That's when you have your sun, moon, and stars. And on the fifth day, God made the creatures in the water and the birds in the sky. On the sixth day, there was the beast, and man was also created. On the seventh day, God rested. Do you see the work of separation in the very beginning of the Bible? Yes. Amen. Yes. So, what is that like? In John chapter 8, verse 12, I'll read for you. Jesus is the light of the world. Then Jesus again spoke to them, saying, "I am the light of the world. He who follows me will not walk in the darkness, but have the light of life." So in the beginning, the earth was formless and void, and darkness was over the surface of the deep, and the Spirit of God was hovering over the surface of the waters. Then God said, "Let there be light." What is that light? That light is Jesus Christ. So when Jesus comes into our life, God said, "Let there be light." That was this light in the beginning, and this light is in each and every one of us today. So, in the Bible, we not only have to see God's work in the characters, and in this case, the creation story, but we also have to see ourselves in it. So when we receive Jesus Christ in our heart, that light is created in our lives. Amen? Amen. Amen. So in John chapter 12, verse 46, Jesus said, "I have come as light into the world, so that everyone who believes in me will not remain in darkness." So all of us who have Jesus Christ, we will not walk in darkness, we will walk with God until the very end, until the day we enter into heaven. Amen. So, in the book, Reverend Abraham Park wrote, "The work of separation is a separation from a perversely wicked world. The chief purpose of the line of Seth was to demonstrate how God has set apart and protected his chosen lineage from Adam to Abraham. The ultimate purpose for separation was to carry forward the work of salvation, which began with Adam, continued through Noah, and now it has reached Abraham. So the ultimate purpose for separation was to carry forward the work of salvation. So I believe all of us are separated from the world today, so that God's work of salvation can be carried out through each and every one of us. So, Abraham, he is someone who lived thousands of years ago, right? So, what has his life got to do with our lives? So, when was Abraham born? He was born in 2166 BC. And what year are we in now? 2019. Thank you. So it is said 0 AD is the timeline. This is 2166 years. And from 0 AD all the way to 2019, we have 2019 years. So if we take 2166 years, and we add it to 2019 years, how many years is that? Okay, we are doing some math here. It's about 4,185 years. So he's someone who lived 4,185 years ago. So long ago. So what has it gotten so early? Right? But in the Bible, we see that God has blessed Abraham. And we want to receive the blessing too, right? So, last week, Galatians chapter 3, verse 7 together. Therefore, we show that it is those who are of faith who are sons of Abraham. Yes. So all of us who have faith are sons of Abraham. And who is that one famous son of Abraham? Is it? Okay. I wanted to say me. Or you, right? Yes, all of us are his son because we are all faith. Last week, Matthew chapter 1, verse 1. The genealogy of Jesus, the Messiah. Of the genealogy of Jesus the Messiah, the son of David, the son of Abraham. Yes, so Jesus is the son of Abraham. And what other blessing can Abraham ask for? To have Jesus born in his family line. So Reverend Abraham Park wrote in his book that this is an immense blessing, unimaginable to the human race. It's an amazing blessing that is out of the world. Okay, now that we know that those who are of faith are sons of Abraham, and we do want to follow in our forefather of faith footsteps, right? So let us look at the separations in Abraham's life now. How many separations do you think there is? Quick guess. Throw it to the floor. 4. Wow. What a prophetic answer. Yeah, it's in your notes. It's 4 separations. Want to make a guess who they are? I think it's written. Can you don't take your notes and just take a guess? Oops. Okay. Alright. It's written there. I'm sure you are very hardworking, that's why you've been reading through. Okay, so the first separation is from his country, his relatives, and his father's house, Terah. Okay, let's read Genesis chapter 7, verses 2 to 4, and also Acts chapter 7, verses 2 to 4, and also Genesis chapter 11, verses 31 to 32. Let's read Acts chapter 7, verses 2 to 4 first. And he said, "Hear me, brethren and fathers, the God of glory appeared to our father Abraham when he was in Mesopotamia before he lived in Haran, and said to him, leave your country and your relatives, and come into the land that I will show you." Then he left the land of the Chaldeans and settled in Haran. From there, after his father died, God had him move to this country in which we are now living. Let's read Genesis chapter 11, verses 31 to 32. Terah took Abram his son, and Lot the son of Haran his grandson, and Sarai his daughter-in-law, his son Abram's wife, and they went out together from Ur in order to enter the land of Canaan. And they went as far as Haran and settled there. The days of Terah were 205 years, and Terah died in Haran. So, where was Abraham? He is in this place called Ur of the Chaldeans. Right. And this place, Ur of the Chaldeans, is a place that worship idols. For reference, let us read Joshua chapter 24, verse 2. Joshua said to all the people, "Thus says the Lord, the God of Israel, from ancient times your fathers lived beyond the river, namely Terah, the father of Abraham, and the father of Nahor, and they served other gods." Yes, so this place is a place full of worshipping for the idols. And this place is actually in southeast of the land. So Ur of the Chaldeans is a place of ancient civilization. So it's a place that is the center of civilization. It is also the center of idol worshipping. So it's like a world hub at that time. It's like the US, today. But it was so good. But the only problem is, it is the hub of idol worshipping. It's the center of idol worshipping too. So, when Abraham was called by God to depart from this place, this is his first step in the separation of his life, the separation from this world. So the first step in faith for us Christians is to be separated from this world. So in every separation in Abraham's life, it marks a step that we have to take in our Christian walk of life. And once we are separated from this world, next, God's work will begin on other levels. Okay, so what you have just gone through is the calling of God for Abraham. How many callings did Abraham have in his life? Well, I need an answer. 1, 2, 2. Thank you. Right. So that was the first calling. Right? They're supposed to depart from Ur of the Chaldeans to Canaan. Okay, but something happened along the way. They had a stopover where it's like when we need to fly from Singapore to Nagaland, we cannot just fly straight away, right? We got to fly from Singapore to Kolkata. And that was our stopover. And we were there for about 6 hours. And before we can fly over to Nagaland. So during this journey, Abraham and the rest of his crew, his father, Sarai, and also Lot had a stopover too. Where was the stopover? Okay. Let's read Genesis chapter 11, verse 31 to 32 again. I'll read for you. Terah took Abram his son, and Lot the son of Haran, his grandson, and Sarai his daughter-in-law, his son Abram's wife, and they went out together from Ur of the Chaldeans in order to enter the land of Canaan. And they went as far as Haran and settled there. Did they settle in Canaan? No. They settled in Haran. So Haran was supposed to be a stopover. It's like for us, when we fly from Singapore to Kolkata, that was supposed to be a stopover. And it's like, wow, it's so good, there's so good food, the airport is so nice, and we decided to stay there instead. We are not supposed to go there, right? We're supposed to come to Nagaland, right? And I'm not saying that Nagaland is not nice, but we are just, wow, this is so nice, we want to be there. But just like what Abraham and his crew did, they were supposed to go to Canaan, but the person who was leading them at that time, is it actually Abraham? If you look at this verse carefully, it's Terah who took Abram his son and the rest of the people, right? So Terah, within his name, there is a meaning too. And Terah actually settled in Haran because the life was so good there. And because of that, what do you think God has to do? Abraham was to go from Ur of the Chaldeans to Canaan, right? But now they're settled in Haran. So it's like we are supposed to go from Singapore to Nagaland, but now we are at Kolkata. What do we have to do? Someone has to remind us, right? Hey, you're supposed to go to Nagaland. Let's go, let's take a plane and go. Right? So Abraham was supposed to go to Canaan. Right? So what do you think God has to do? God has to call Abraham the second time. Ding, ding, ding. Please wake up. Let us go. Right. Okay, let us look at Genesis chapter 12, verses 1 to 4. Let us read it together. They went to Egypt. Now the Lord said to Abraham, go forth from your country and from your relatives and from your father's house to the land which I will show you, and I will make you a great nation, and I will bless you and make your name great, and so you and I will bless those who bless you, and the one who curses you I will curse. And in you all the families of the earth will be blessed. So Abraham went forth as the Lord had spoken to him, and Lot went with him. Now Abraham was 75 years old when he departed from Haran. Yes. So God's second calling for Abraham is to go forth from your country and from your relatives. Yes. And this time round, he added another line. From your father's house. So, how old was Abraham when God called him for the second time? 75 years this year. Right? And how old do you think is Sarah? Okay, let's look at Genesis chapter 11, verses 26. Terah lived 70 years and became the father of Abram, Nahor, and Haran. So let's just take 70 years as a reference. Terah lived 70 years. And to find out how old is Terah when Abraham is 75 years old, what do? We add? Wow, 75 years. Right, that's when Abraham is 75 years old. So how old was Terah? 155. Wow. My parents are about 60 to 70 now. Can you imagine if your father is 145 years old? That's quite old, right? So for Abraham to leave his father in Haran when the father is 145 years old, is it going to be easy? Alright. So if I were to just leave my mother and my father just like that, what would people call me? You are a failure girl. Horrible lady, how can you leave your own parents behind? So Terah was 145 years old, even though yes, during that time, Petrus lived to 969 years old, just like Methuselah, right? So 145 years old is nothing compared to 969. But for a son, during that time, to leave the parents, to leave the father, is a very bad thing to do. So, in order for Abraham to make such a decision to leave his father, it must not have been easy for him. But today, we are not asking you to leave your parents. We are not asking you to leave your country. We are not asking you to leave your relatives. But should God calls you to another place, amen, let it be done. Right? But what we're trying to say today is that this Terah means something. Right? So, yesterday, our Dr. Elaine shared about Terah's name. Do you remember the meaning of his name? Unless you have your notes with you. Terah's name in Hebrew means to delay. Yes. So Terah is someone who delayed the work of God in Abraham's life. So the person and the things, all the things in our lives that delay God's work in you is our Terah. So that is why God has to tell Abraham, leave your Terah behind. Follow me, let us go to Canaan. So it's that one thing, that one person. It could be yourself. Like for me, it could be myself that stopped me from following the word of God. So that's our Terah. So now let's look at the age. Terah lived 70 years, and when Abraham was 75 years old, Terah was only 145, right? So let's look at these verses carefully. And he said, "Hear me, brothers and fathers. The God of glory appeared to our father Abraham when he was in Mesopotamia before he lived in Haran, and said to him, Leave your country and your relatives and come into the land that I will show you." Then he left the land of the Chaldeans and settled in Haran. From there, after his father died, God had him move to this country in which you are now living. So, this country in which you are now living, and after his father died. In other words, this is to say, after Terah died, Abraham moved to Canaan. Right? But we know Abraham was 75 years old, Terah was 145 years old. However, in another part of the Bible, Genesis chapter 11 verse 32, as we can read here, the days of Terah were how many years? 205. And he died in Haran. So here, the Bible says it's 205 years. But we did the calculations, right? We take 70, we add another 75. Terah was only 145 years old when Abraham left. So, is the Bible wrong? Is there an error in the Bible? We know it's not. There's no errors in the Word of God. The Word of God is an infallible Word of God. There's no error, and we're going to prove it today. So, these two records regarding Terah's death has been closely examined and presented for the first time in human history in this first book of the history of redemption written by Reverend Abraham Park. So, in Acts chapter 7 verse 4, we saw the word died, right? Okay, let me refresh your memory. Yeah. Okay, in English it's died. And even elsewhere in the Bible. But in Acts chapter 7 verse 4, this word died in Greek, because the New Testament is written in Greek, is aponeska. Okay, I shall not attempt to write for you the Greek alphabet. You can read it in the first book if you have got it. And it means spiritual death. That means when Abraham left Haran at the age of 75 years old, Terah was 145 years old, right? He's still alive and kicking. And he will live for the next 60 years, right? From 145 to 205, 60 years. But in Abraham's eyes, he is already spiritually dead, which means Abraham's affection for Terah as a father has died spiritually in order for Abraham to follow the word of God. So we must be able to be separated from human affections sometimes when we need to follow the word of God. So Terah, we know, is someone who delayed Abraham's work of faith. So, just like we mentioned earlier, if there's something in your life that is delaying you from walking this life of faith, that is delaying you to obey the word of God 100%, God says, be separated to your terror, and I will bless you greatly. Okay, I reviewed the answer. Second, separation from Lord. Who is Lot? Sorry? Terrace? Abraham? They are related, right? Who is he?
Nephew of Abraham.
Nephew of Abraham. Wow. Okay, so in Genesis chapter 11, verse 31, Terah took Abram his son, and Lot the son of Haran, his grandson, and Sarai, his daughter-in-law, his son Abram's wife. And they went out together from all the Chaldeans in order to enter the land of Canaan, and they went as far as Haran and settled there. So Lot is the son of Haran. Right? We know that Abraham has two brothers, Haran and Nahor. Right? And Lot is the son of Haran, which makes him the nephew of Abraham. Okay, so who is this Lot? And why does Abraham has to be separated from him? So when Abraham left Haran, who did he bring along? He left Terah behind, right? That we know. He took along his wife, Sarai, and he also took his nephew, Lot, and all their possessions, right, which they have accumulated, and the persons which they have acquired in Haran. Remember God's second calling for Abraham. Let's go back. The Lord said to Abram, "Go forth from your country and from your relatives and from your father's house." Who is Lot? His nephew, right? Is he his relative? Right, so you see, Abraham left Terah behind. He obeyed the father's house. Right, but he did not leave Lot behind. So he did not, during this time, obey the word of God 100%. It's sometimes when we hear an instruction, a command from God, right? It's like, oh my gosh, this is so hard. God, I cannot obey 100%. I obey 50%, okay. I leave my father Sarah behind. But Lord, I will bring. Okay? I cannot obey 100%. So that's what Abraham did. And this is something that might happen during our walk of life with God. So, but is that all? What does Lord represent in our lives today? Let's read Genesis chapter 13, verses 5 to 12. So during the journey, something happened. Let's read together. Now Lot, who went with Abram, also had flocks and herds and tents, and the land could not sustain them while dwelling together, for their possession was so great that they were not able to remain together. And there was strife between the herdsmen of Abram's livestock and the herdsmen of Lot's livestock. Now the Canaanite and the Perizzite dwelt there in land. So Abram said to Lot, "Please let there be no strife between you and me, nor between my husband and your husband, for we are brothers. Is not the whole land before you? Please separate from me. If you go to the left, then I will go to the right, or if to the right, then I will go to the left." Lot lifted up his eyes and saw all the valley of the Jordan, that it was well watered everywhere. This was before the Lord destroyed Sodom and Gomorrah, and the garden of the Lord, that the land of Egypt has to go to Zoar. So Lot chose for himself all the valley of the Jordan, and Lot journeyed eastward. Then they separated from each other. Abraham settled in the land of Canaan, while Lot settled in the cities of the valley and moved his tents as far as Sodom. So, during the journey, they had so many possessions, they cannot stay together anymore. So Abram said to Lot, let us go separate ways. Right? If you go to the right, I will go to the left. You go to the left, I'll go to the right. Okay, so that we will not fight. That there's enough space for one another. So, as you can see, Lot chose the land, which is the valley of the Jordan, because it looked like Egypt. Right? And it was from the valley of the Jordan towards Zoar. So, this is part of the map of the wilderness journey that is drawn for the second book in the History or Redemption series. So within this book itself, Reverend Abraham Park reviewed 42 campsites for the first time in human history too. So Lord chose the valley of Jordan all the way to Zoar. And Abraham settled in Canaan. Right? So, this revealed to us that Lord has secular greed. And this separation represents separation from the lingering secular tendencies and continued instability even after our initial separation from the world. So it's like sometimes when we are doing the Word of God and it's so hard, we're thinking, how good would it be if I'm not here? How good would it be if I'm doing something else? Right? So for Abraham, this separation between him and Lord is to be separated from the lingering secular tendencies and his continued instability even after his initial separation from the world. So who is our Lord today? Do we still have Lord in our lives? I believe for the land of Nagaland in this school, you are very pure compared to people who live in the city like Singapore. Right? And I understand from Principal Zhao that you don't have your mobile phone. You are kept from it. Oh, that's very disciplined and very good. Yes. Yeah, I will do that when I get back home. Yeah, I'll try to lock in, see how long I can last. Okay. And in the Bible, Jesus also said, if you are not separated from this world, you cannot come to me. So in Luke chapter 14, verse 26, Jesus says, if anyone comes to me and does not hate his own father and mother and wife and children and brothers and sisters, yes, and even his own life, he cannot be my disciple. And in Luke chapter 14, verse 33, so then none of you can be my disciple who does not give up all his own possessions. So maybe be able to submit everything into the hands of Father God, and we believe and know that He will hold our hands until the very end, that He will take care of us, He will never let us go until the end comes. So, that separation is from Ishmael. So do you think it was easy for Abraham to be separated from Lot? Alright. Who is Lot? He's not just a nephew. He is someone who was with Abraham from the very start of the journey, right? They left all of the Chaldeans together. and they were journeying towards Canaan. So he was like a travel buddy. You know, like I remember there was one time I went to a faraway place, the US, and I was separated from my travel buddies. Oh, because it's devastating. It's like, oh my, you're in a world, you know, part of the world you're not very familiar with, never gone there before. And when I was in the hotel, I heard like gunshots. Oh my goodness, what am I doing here? Right, and that feeling was so lonely. I was so lost, I didn't know what to do. Right, and I believe I went through that just to share this with you. Right, and the third separation from Ishmael. Which Ishmael to Abraham? Son, yes. And who is Ishmael mother? Hagar, yes. So but Abraham's wife is Sarai, right? Or Sarah, right? So what has Hagar got to do with Abraham? Who is Hagar? How? So good. So let us look at Genesis chapter 16 verses 1. Let's find out how did Ishmael come about. So let us read together. Now Sarai, Abram's wife, had borne him no children, and she had an Egyptian maid whose name was Hagar. So Sarai said to Abram, now behold, the Lord has prevented me from bearing children. Please go in to my maid, perhaps I will obtain children through her. And Abram listened to the voice of God. So, if you were Abraham, what would you say to Sarah? I'm not okay. Wow. Wow. Yeah, Abraham said okay. Yes, he did say okay. Right. But what should Abraham? I think it's we know. Right, but for Sarah to say something like that to the husband, I don't think I can do that. Right? I can't. If we have no children, so be it. Right? But Abraham is someone who has received the promise from God. And he is to be the father of multitudes, father of nations. So if he doesn't have a son to carry on his family line, how is that supposed to happen? Right? So, if he's given this promise by God, what should he have told Sarah? Okay? Not okay? Yeah, probably he could have told Sarah, right? You silly woman, how can you say this thing to me? Right? God promised her a son, and yes, it'll be through you. Not Hagar, not your Egyptian maid. Right, but what did Abram do? He listened to the voice. That's alright. The voice of him. So, let us be reminded that we are to listen to the voice of God rather than the voice of man. So, this son Ishmael was a son born according to the flesh. It's born because Abraham and probably also Sarah was impatient, right? And this son was born because Abraham listened to the voice of man, to the voice of Sarah. So, but is this the promised son? Okay, I lost one of my verses. I think you have it in your notes. Galatians chapter 4, verses 22 to 31. Can we read that together? flesh. So when Isaac was born, God commanded Abraham to drive out Ishmael. And this separation is the level of faith in which we must surrender our own thoughts, our own plans, and our own power before the great will of God. So we have 3 separations, right? From the first one, from his country, his relatives, and his father. Second separation, from Lord. Third separation, Ishmael. Who is the fourth? Isaac. Why Isaac? Isn't Isaac the promised son? Right. So before we move on to Isaac, let us look at Ishmael. Do you think Abraham was happy when God commanded him to drive out Ishmael? No. Even though he is not the promised son, and he is a son born through Sarah's maidservant Hagar, but it is still Abraham's own flesh and blood, right? So is it easy? I cannot imagine myself driving out my daughters, right? And Reverend Abraham Park wrote in his book that this separation from Ishmael must have caused Abraham the greatest pain in his life. It is like the pain of having his flesh torn away. So just a little story about me. One day I was preparing to cook carrot soup. Right, so I was cutting the carrot. And because it's such an easy task, my mind wandered away. I was thinking about something else, right, about my work and all. And then it was a very sharp titanium steel knife. Alright, so with one cut, the carrot is chopped into 2. So I was cutting and slicing it because it's too big. My daughters like the small little cubes, so I was cutting and cutting and cutting, and then I lost control of the knife, and the knife cut into my tongue. Wow. And I didn't feel anything. Then I was like, okay, let's continue cutting, until I saw blood flowing out. I was like, oh my, what is it? I thought it was just a very small cut maybe, right? I couldn't have cut so hard. I forgot it was made of titanium steel, right? And I took out my thumb and I saw it. This time over here. The flesh was hanging out. It was like, this thumb, it's small. Imagine it being cut into half. So my thumb was sliced all the way down, and the flesh was hanging out. I was like, shocked. And I think it was so painful, my body numbed it. I was like in a shock. I didn't know what to do. It was a whole piece of flesh hanging out, and I tried to bundle it with bandage and all and everything. I was like, what should I do? Should I just let it heal and go away? I have my elder daughter sleeping in the room. Then I was like, okay, what should I do? What should I do? And then the pain started to come. I said, oh my, what should I do? Should I call the ambulance? Then I called Daddy. Daddy, what should I do? My tongue is cut into half, and I haven't cooked dinner yet. My uncle's daughter is still sleeping. Then he was like, why do you call me? Call the ambulance, right? I cannot rush home in time for you. I don't know what to do too. So I called the ambulance. And the people came with a stretcher and all, ready to bring me to hospital. And then I was like, okay, but my daughter is still sleeping. Let me try to wake her up. Okay, but I went. She was in primary 1, about 7 years old then. So tired from school, sleeping like a log. There was no way I can wake up, and I was having this bleeding thing. I was like, oh my goodness, what should I do? Then they said, oh, let's go to hospital. I can't, my daughter is sleeping. I haven't cooked dinner yet, right? Yeah, and in the end, I told him, okay, can I just go to like a clinic downstairs I remember at my family clinic, praise the Lord, they do like minor surgery. He said, okay, ma'am, then let us just bandage your tongue so that you will not bleed profusely, so much like this. Okay, and you try to wake your daughter up so that you can go to the clinic with her. So, okay, that's what I did. So they bandaged it up. I was feeling all the pain even though it's just a little tongue. And in the end, I had my daughter woken up. Daddy came back home and I went to the clinic and I had 8 stitches. Wow. I thought the pain in the tongue was so much, was already so bad. But the stitches is worse. Every stitch, every time they put in the needle, it was like, oh, I was like crying. I was telling the doctor, can I cry? It's so painful. Yeah, and I really, really cried. So painful. 8 stitches on the little tongue. So this is my tongue from preparing the carrot soup. And yes, the carrot soup did get cooked in the end. We still had dinner. Right? But this separation from Ishmael must have caused Abraham the greatest pain in his life. The pain of having his flesh torn away. I don't know, but I think maybe this tongue made me feel something so that I can share what I'm sharing with you today. Okay. So, Ishmael represents the thing that we love, the thing that we hold on to, even though they have nothing to do with the will of God. Ishmael is someone born according to the flesh, according to Abraham's human thoughts and human ways. So, our human thoughts and human ways has nothing to do with the will of God. So, do you have this Ishmael in you today? If we have this Ishmael in our lives today, God says, cast out your Ishmael. Be separated from Ishmael, and I will greatly bless you. Okay, we are done with my finger. Let us move on to the 4th separation, Isaac. Who is Isaac? Sorry? Son of Abraham? Yes. His name means laughter, by the way, in Hebrew. So after God has asked Abraham to be separated from Ishmael, to cast away Ishmael, God told Abraham something. And let us read together in Genesis chapter 22, verses 1 to 2. The offering of Isaac. Let's read together. Do you have this thing about this thing that God has said Abraham and says to him, Abraham, and he said, here I am. He said, take now your son, your only son whom you love, Isaac, and go to the land of Moriah and offer him there as a burnt offering on one of the mountains of which I will tell you. Wow, can you imagine? God has just asked Abraham to cast away his son Ishmael. And now God is telling Abraham this. What do you think Abraham must have been feeling? So it's like, I have 2 daughters. One is born according to the flesh, right? Because of my own human ways, and then the other one, oh, this is the promised one. I have 2 daughters, yeah. Okay, so what do you think Abraham must be feeling? Or thinking about? God, are you sure? Am I going crazy? Am I hearing the wrong things? But God, you just told me to be separated from Ishmael, right? Because Isaac is your promised son. And now, you are telling me to offer him up as a burnt offering? Alright. This is a task that is almost impossible, right? And a father or terror in any sense, I don't think we'll be able to do this. Right? But who is Isaac in Abraham's life besides just a son? He is the son of promise. He is to become the father of multitude, father of nations. Through this son, people, descendants will come. And who is the one famous descendant or son of Abraham? In Matthew chapter 1 verse 1. Jesus. Right? So this is like a promise given to you by God. But now God says, offer him up. Wow. Did Abraham obey? Yes, he did. And let us read Hebrew. Okay, before we go there, how old is Isaac? Is he just a little boy? Crying in the mommy's bosom? Toddler? Okay, let's read Genesis chapter 22, verse 6 together. Oh, I think this is not in your lecture notes, so let's read from the slides. Abraham took the word of the burnt offering and laid it on Isaac his son, and he took in his hands the fire and the knife, and the two of them walked on together. So Abraham is able to lay the word of the burnt offerings on Isaac. So Isaac was carrying the word for Abraham. So he must have been pretty strong, right? Probably a youth and so. Yeah, and in other studies of this History of Redemption series, Isaac is about the teenager age, right? About 10 over 15 or 16 or 17. So, Abraham was able to obey. And let's read Hebrews chapter 11, verse 17 to 19 to find out why he was able to do so. Let's read this together. By faith, Abraham, when he was tested, offered up Isaac, and he who had received the promises was offering up his only begotten son. It was he to whom it was said, in Isaac your descendants shall be called. He considered that God is able to raise people even from the dead, from which he also received him back at the time. So, Abraham firmly believed that God is the master, that God is in control of life and death. So even if he were to offer up Isaac and he was to be sacrificed on the Mount of Moriah, if it's according to God's will, God is able to raise him from the dead. So even before resurrection came to be, Abraham already believed it by faith. Right? What great faith is that? So, Isaac is the promised son, is given to Abraham freely. And Abraham bore the son when he was very old. Right? So, this level of faith, this separation for Abraham was equivalent to death. Reverend Abraham Powell wrote in his book that this separation was equivalent to death, and it shook the very foundation of Abraham's existence. Is God taking back the promise? Right? But Abraham believed that what God can give, God can take away. And if God wills to give it back to you, amen, let it be done according to God's will. So, this separation involves sacrificing someone that Abraham loved and cherished. So, who is our Isaac today? The one person or thing that we love and cherish the most in our lives. It could be yourself. It could be your life. God says, offer it up to me, and I will greatly bless you, which I believe all of you has already done. You have already sacrificed your life unto His calling. That's why you are in this school today. Amen. So, this life of separation that Abraham lived is a holy separation. And in order to achieve this holy separation, we must come out of this world. And we must refrain from participating in its sin. And faith for Abraham, faith for us today, matures through separation. So as we study Abraham's life and his walk of faith with God, we know he's not perfect. Right? Sometimes he had doubts. Sometimes he did not believe. Sometimes he could not obey God's word 100%. And sometimes he chose to listen to the voice of man instead of the voice of God. But this gives us hope, because we are not perfect too. Sometimes we are in every sense like Abraham. But when Abraham holds God's hand, when Abraham firmly believes in God, God is able to bring him through. And from the separation from his country, his relatives and his father, followed by Lot, followed by Ishmael, followed by Isaac, Abraham was able to attain to the highest level of faith in the end. So all of us who are walking this holy path of separation, we have hope. And the blessing that await those who walk the holy path of separation. Who did Abraham receive in his life? The famous son. He received the famous son, Jesus, in his family life. So all of us who walk this holy path of separation, let us be able to give birth to that very aspect of Jesus Christ. And let us also be like Jesus Christ, to follow him, to carry the cross on ourselves, and may it be through us that God's grace and love and eternal life be given to each and every person that we are able to touch. So, may this blessing be with all of us today as we walk our life of faith, just like Abraham. Let us pray.